Hey everyone, hope you're well. Hope your weather situation is nicer than it is here. It's gone very grey. In fact, yes, it is raining, so it is back to being a traditional Scottish summer. Um, for those who are escaping from the various football, I've heard lots of weird noises, so I'm guessing that uh, England have perhaps made it through. But this is going to be a football free zone. This is a crafting zone. So let's get down to it. Um, you're going to be coming on a journey with me tonight. We're going to try a new fancy fold. And I will be honest, I haven't done this before, but I have watched the video. I have got the measurements written out. And so we're going to do this together. So this is not my design. This is a design from a lady called Sandra. She's a French demo, and her page is Les Ateliers de Sandra, which basically means Sandra's workshop. Ooh, why is this all gone all fuzzy? Come on. Come on. Let's get you back in focus again. Don't know why this has gone all weird. Hey, Julie. Let's see if we can get this to play nicely. Come on. Let's take it all the way down. It should be on autofocus. Oh, goodness. There we go. That's better. Right. So stick with me. I'm going to read the measurements out. I'll share a link to her video on my Facebook page later. But it looks really impressive. It also looks, once you know how, fairly straightforward. So we're going to give this a go. And we're going to start off with just basic white cards. So this is not thick white. This is just basic. And I'm cutting it at 10.5. Okay. So 10.5 centimeters. And then the first piece that I cut is 23 centimeters. I am doing my design slightly different from hers, but it's going to be the same basic fold. So that's 23 centimeters. And then I'm going to score at 11.5. So there we go. So this folds in half perfectly. Right, we're off to a good start. Oh, shall I put the light on? Do we need the light? Is it a bit dim? Does that help? Is it better with the light on? Let me know what you think. Okay, so this is our starting piece, 10.5 centimeters, and then that's 11.5, which means opened up it's 23. Okay, so that's our first piece that we need. The second piece is again 10.5 centimeters, so it's the other half here. And we're going to cut this at 21.8. Very precise here, but I'm not going to argue. 21.8 centimeters. And we're going to score at 7.3. So 7.3. There we go. Let's use our little bone folder here. And this piece goes alongside our first piece. Okay. Then we need more. Let's take another piece of basic white. This one is again 10.5 centimeters. And I want this by 15.5 centimeters. There we go. And it scores at 40.5 centimeters or 1 centimeter along the top. So all right, let's put that to one side. Let's just score this with my bone folder. Right, so now I have the 3 pieces that I need. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use, and this is where I'm doing things differently from her. I'm going to use some dies to cut out my aperture. Now, I am using the branching out dies because I love them. Also, they are on the clearance rack at the moment. In fact, I was looking up the price because they're a really good bargain. Where are they? Yeah, they were £27. They're now £13.50. So they are half price right now, these dies. They came out last Christmas. The branching bits, there was a stamp set that goes with it, but these dies here, I love, and I have been using them so much, and I'm gutted that they're going. So I'm going to position this, and I'm going to, I don't often use washi to hold my dies in place, but I am this time because I need this to be quite precise. And you may notice, so this is the piece which is 23 centimeters folded in half, and I'm cutting through both layers. Okay. And I want to make sure that it's in the right place. Just using a bit of washi tape, and actually I'm just going to stick this down to me first to get rid of any excess tackiness. And I want to put it there. There we go. Right, cut and emboss machine. I have had the cut and emboss machine out already this week. There has been lots of exciting stuff arrive at this house. Some stuff which I can show you, and some stuff which I cannot show you. It's just the way it is. But for this particular card, as I say, it's using the branching out dies. Now, my top tip, I've said this before, if you're using a die that's got a long flat edge, put it slightly at an angle. If you do it straight into the machine, straight on a flat edge, you're not going to get a good cut. So if you do it slightly at an angle, it will cut better. It will also sound an awful lot better as the die is going through your machine. So that's the first thing that we need to do. And just check the underside to make sure it's gone through both pieces, which it has. And then I'm going to pop that out. So I have my aperture. There we go. My plates are getting a wee bit messy. I probably should change them. You should change your plates every now and again. They will get dirty, they will get used. They are consumable items. So once I've cut my shape out of that piece, I'm going to take this piece as well. So the first one was the 23 folded in half. The second one is the 21.8 scored at 7.3. And what I want to do is I want to line up where I've just cut. Let's just move this off to one side, because I want to cut exactly the same shape on this bottom piece. And it does occur to me, which I wish it had occurred to me slightly earlier, I could probably have done all 3 layers at the same time. I could have run it through before, but I was not thinking that far ahead. So I have just done a pencil mark on the 4 sides of where that die was. You bought the dies at the reduced price, Ali. I am not surprised. It's a really, really good bargain. I would encourage everyone to get a bargain. We like a bargain. Ah, right. You see, that's the thing again. Because this die has got the stitched effect, this is going to be tricky to line up. Okay, see, when you do this, make sure that you cut out all 3 at the same time. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try and line up my die. You know what I say? You know, don't do it this way. Ask me how I know. This is one of these real life examples of Emma shows you how to do it the wrong way so that you then do it the right way. So what I've done is I've put the die flat on the bottom. I've lined it up with the aperture that I've just cut out. Now I'm going to line up these corners. And you're like, but Emma, you've got the card in between. I know, but I've put the washi tape on there. So I'm hoping that the washi tape, there we go, it sticks to my base card. And now I need to get this top bit out of the way. How am I going to do that? I'm going to carefully peel the washi off the top and then kind of slip it round. That was not the easiest way to do that. Do you know what? We're going to line this up and hope for the best. If it hasn't worked, I will cut the pieces out again and do them all three at the same time. Because that's what you're going to do when you make this card. Or you could just cut it with your trimmer, because that's what the clever lady in the video did. And she was very clever. That's slightly at an angle again. And here's me thinking that I would be fancy and do it with dies instead. Oh, well. Well, we shall soon find out if this was a clever idea or a daft idea. I am not beyond admitting when I've done something daft. Let's see if this is lined up nicely. Right. Need this to line up. You know what? I think it's done it. I think it's fine. It has lined up. All right. So I've now got this piece here. It's worked. And this piece here. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to stick the small piece, stick the bit you've cut out onto the second bit of card, then pop the die over it. That would have been a smart thing to do as well. But it has actually worked. So what I'm going to do is this small piece here, I'm going to glue to this piece here on the inside. When you see the finished card, it will make more sense. Okay, but for just now, I'm using my Tombow as it's very forgiving. We love a bit of Tombow. Okay. And I'm going to line up the frames and the edge of my card. Okay. For those of you who've seen these sort of cards before, don't give it away too quickly. Right. So now I have this bit that's glued together that's got this little piece here and this other piece on the inside that fully matches. Hey, Julie. Okay, next I'm going to use this piece and I'm going to stick it. I'm just making sure that I get this right. I'm going to stick it. Where am I going to stick it? Yes, it goes here. And so it needs to be no wider than the edge bit of my frame. Because I have my frame too close to the edge, it's just slightly too big. So I'm going to trim that down a little. Just honestly, 2 millimeters. And now this piece goes here. I'm just checking. I'm getting this stuck to the right place. Let me check my notes. I've done this bit. And then this sticks here. There we go. Right, so this piece sticks on to this piece here on the inside. So let's use my Tombow. And it sticks to the edge like that. There we go. Okie dokie. So you've basically got something that looks a bit like this sort of Z shape here. All right. And then I'll just look at that. I don't know why the zooming and focus is going a little bit weird. So now, let's make sure that it's all aligned. Looking right. So now, when you open the card, this piece on the inside slides in and has this like peekaboo effect. Like that. See that? It's really clever. Okay, so but what I've done for some reason, yeah, it's because I've cut that piece. This piece isn't long enough. Do you know what? We did say this was going to be an adventure that we'd go on together. This piece should have been slightly longer, or my die cut shape should have been further in. I have done it too close to the edge there. So let's see, how can I fix this? I can fix it, it's only paper. Paper will do our bidding. Let's cut a piece that is how big? 1 centimeter. And it's going to get covered up anyway. So I think that there's a way that I can fix this. Watch me try and fix this. So that piece is going to sit on there. And let's use a bit of tape. It's going to be inside the card mechanism, so no one's going to see it. So I'm going to use paper tape, and I am going to use Christmas tree paper tape. Because that's just how I roll. But at least now I know, and now you know, that if you do this design, you can use the same measurements, but don't put your die cut bit quite so close to the edge, or you can use different measurements. So let's stick that down there. And I'm going to put designer series paper on the other side anyway, so I already know that I don't need to worry about that bit. So let's just fold that over. Right. Okay. This is okay. This is okay. We're fine. Right. Next thing that I want to do is decorate with designer series paper. And I decided I was going to use the Artisan Sketched Garden papers because I thought it would be really pretty to have it so that it looks like a vase. Now I think I want this one, which is just slightly larger than my frame, and so I'm going to cut out one of these. Oh, I've just had the perfect idea. Right, yes, I know what I'm going to do. So let's see if I can do this the way I want to do it. Yeah. I'm going to use this designer series paper over the front. So first of all, I'm going to cut a piece. Where's my ruler? I had it with me because I was traveling this week. Oh, it's not there. Honestly, the number of rulers that I have in this house, and I can never find one when I need it. There we go. Right. So this piece measures 14.5. Yes, of course it does. So let's cut this to 14 by 10. So let's see what it'd be like if I cut it in this way. So 10 centimeters. I'm trying to get the most out of the papers. Just having a quick look to see other ones. Yeah. No, do you know what? I'm going to do it. It'll be fine. 10 centimeters. What's on the other side of that? That's quite pretty. 10 centimeters by 14. That takes me to there. Oh, you see, I really like that tulipy one. What happens if I do it this way? Anybody else spend forever cutting the papers that they want in a particular way just so they can get it a particular way? I'm gonna lose it either way. Let's do it to this side. 14. Okay, so this piece is going to go on the front of my card, but I'm going to cut out again my aperture that's this size. So let's line this up. Do you know what? I'm going to use Ali's recommendation. Let's put the die into the shape. Let's put this over the top. It's stuck down with the washi tape. Let's run the whole thing through. At a slight angle. There we go. Right. This washi tape has been through so many times. It's well and truly stuck down. Come on. We abandon that piece. There we go. Right. So this piece now cut out of the same size, which is the point that I remember that I wasn't going to cut it out of the same size. I was going to cut it out in a slightly larger one. It's kind of too late now though, because I've done this one and the smaller one. You know what? It's fine. Let's glue it down. And let's glue it onto the front of the card. Oh. Okay, this piece I'm going to glue down inside, but I want to glue it down once this flap has opened, because we'll see if I glue this down here like so. So holding the whole thing open, gluing this down onto that bottom panel. I'm just going to open that up, make sure that it is well and truly glued down. Getting glue everywhere. And I'm just going to take some pens and do a little bit of colouring. So I'm thinking, you know what, in colours. And a little bit of Pool Party for the water. So let's do the water in my vase. Let's do some hydrangea hue blossoms. I'm not going to spend a massive amount of time colouring. This is not a colouring technique class. Light. Some peaceful pine on these. I'm going to use this crisp cantaloupe on the table. Like so. There we go. I think that looks all right. So now what we get is black and white, and then when you open it, oh, it's the coloured one. So now what we need, took far too many of those out, put them back in a minute. Now what we need is to decorate the insides. So let's use the other side of this paper. There it is. So let's do one there, one there. Will we use the whole other side of this paper, or will we use some of the other? You know what? I think this one's going to be pretty. Let's use this. Just to have this on one side and that on the other. That in the front, that on the inside. Just there, because that's where I need to write the sentiment. Yeah, don't forget to do a sentiment, Emma. Right, so this piece measures, let's get my ruler, Hey Hen, hey Jen, hey Linda. All these people that have said hello that I've missed. Right, so this is going to be 11 centimeters. So it goes on there. And we need it die cut in the same place as the others. So let's do this again. So we're going to put the die in the hole there. Do you know what? We're just going to load this up on the platform and try and do it without washi tape. You made one of these a few years ago. Yes, and you probably did it with far less faffing than I'm currently doing, Ali. Your cards are beautiful. You've done some really lovely designs. Right, so I've put the die on, put the paper down, and it occurs to me I could actually glue the paper now. It might be sensible. Sensible? Me? Don't be daft. You know what? I am going to do it. Let's just glue the paper down and then cut it out. This is going to make life... Why am I making life difficult for myself? So, let's do the glue. Ah, come on. Just round the edge there. Okay. Let's line it up where I want it to be. There we go. And now I need to cut out that piece there. I'm going to put on at a slight angle, as I've said before, and push it through. Come on. There we go. When the donkey was revealed, it said something about being very good, very good. I imagine that that would go down a treat. That's the beauty of making your own handmade cards. You can have any sentiments to say anything you want. Right, have I cut through the whole thing? For some reason I haven't. Ah, dear. Do you know what? At this point, I'm just going to use my craft knife. When you're doing it, do it properly. This is going to very much be a masterclass in what works and what doesn't work. And I'm always happy to share with you the things that work and the things that don't. There we go. Right, so we've got our insides. I'm going to put a sentiment here. And so now we have our cards. I think we need something on the front as well, don't we? Oh, and I need something in here too. So let's... Do we have... Let's just use a bit of this. So cut this to 10 centimeters. Do you know what? Let's just cut a piece that's 10 by 10 because I don't actually need to fill the whole space. I only need to fill the back bit where that aperture is. So let's stick that in there. And let's make sure it's the right way up. Yep. So let's not pop that onto there. And getting rid of all the extra glue that I've got everywhere. There we go. So that bit, and then when you open it up, you've let me do that again, but actually on camera. So I might put a sentiment here. Here's a good idea. What colour do we go for? I'm thinking Peaceful Pine. It's my go-to shade at the moment. And let's find a sentiment that'll fit in that gap. I think the Sending Love might actually be really nice. Or Love and Hugs, it's a bit bolder. Yeah. Let's pull them out and check the sizes of them. At the moment I'm thinking Love and Hugs might look nice. Love and Hugs. Yeah. If anybody's voting for anything other than Love and Hugs, speak now or forever hold your peace. Pigs and blankets. That's fun as well. Love and Hugs. Right. I've managed to get ink on the side there. There we go. Right. So, Love and Hugs. And then that's the bit that you would write on inside the card. There you go. Do you know what? Once I actually got organized, I think it is easier if you cut the pieces with the trimmer rather than trying to die cut them, although they do look pretty die cut. I think if we were going to do it, you would die cut all the layers at the same time. What do you think? It looks effective, but it's actually easier to make than I've maybe made it out to be. I will put the link to the lady who I watched her video for it. But yeah, we've got the card. It looks a bit like that. A lovely reveal. Thank you, Ali. All right, that's been the project for this evening. I do have various other crafty projects here, but they're for my shoebox swap at the weekend. For everyone who's coming, I am looking forward to seeing you. I hope you're looking forward to coming as well. Let me flip this back around. For everyone who's not coming this weekend, you're very much missed, but I hope you'll make it to another event sometime soon. For everybody else, happy crafting. Hope you have a really good week. As always, if you get any questions, reach out. Happy to ask. Okay, take care. Bye.